Hey love, I'm Sharr Smith, intuitive energy alchemist and spiritual teacher. Welcome to Journey to Self, an emotional wellness and self-discovery podcast here to ask the powerful questions so you can reveal the true potential that exists in all things for yourself, like your life, your business, and your manifestations. Journey to Self is your reliable resource for learning how to adapt and overcome. Each episode, we cover topics that allow you to hold space for yourself and pay attention to where your thoughts are building momentum. This is so you can take control and transmute the energies of stress, anxiety, and even burnout and begin to create a happy, healthy, and balanced life. Okay, jumping right into this. Listen, you're not unworthy. You just don't know how to nurture, unconditionally love, or create safety for yourself. This is about your own self-discovery and understanding and healing your mother wound, okay? So according to licensed clinical social worker Mari, M-A-R-I, Grande, the mother wound itself is an attachment trauma that creates a sense of confusion and devastation in the child's psyche. More specifically, the mother wound is often related to a lack of nurturing, safety, and unconditional love from a mother figure, which can lead to low self-esteem, difficulty with emotional regulation, and often feelings of unworthiness. This particular experience of trauma is rooted in different beliefs that you hold that make you feel things like abandonment, unloved, unworthy, and at times fearful of expressing yourself. When left unchecked, the mother wound can affect both your mental health and any relationships that you have as an adult. Now, of course, we can't talk about the mother wound without addressing or at least mentioning briefly the father wound, which is often linked to an absence a critical or abusive father figure, which can further result into low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, and things like difficulty with boundaries and trust. Now, for me, I struggled with feeling connected to this earth, and I was bullied throughout my childhood at school and at home by a now ex-step-parent. So my particular experience and the level of awareness that I have, I am very much so attuned and aware to the fact that my experience is a combination of both the mother and the father wound. However, what I want you to understand and take from this is being able to recognize and see yourself somewhere in the story or in my story, and use it as a catalyst to help you discover more about yourself and become more curious about your own experience and what it's trying to teach you, tell you, help you understand about what it is that you need to feel safe, sane, and secure in this world. Okay, so again, in my particular experience, I was being bullied throughout my childhood and at school and by a now ex-step parent. And so there were a lot of days, nights, and times where I prayed for death before bed every night, right? I hated myself so much that I couldn't stand the natural smell of my own body, no matter how much I bathed. And I often struggled with toxic relationships for most of my adult life. Like it took a minute to recognize the pattern because I was stuck in that loop of the wound itself hurting and not being able to feel the pain without being overwhelmed by the pain, if that makes sense. I digress. I kept unconsciously choosing relationships riddled with abandonment, mental abuse, and emotional abuse in different forms. The thing that changed for me, though, and allowed me to heal, in short, is essentially that I learned about my Chiron placement in my natal chart, aka astrology chart, as well as in my human design. I was just tired of always feeling anxious and on edge and wanted a way to pretty much psych myself out, or psych myself into feeling like I belonged in some type of degree or somewhere, some essence of life, right? And so given my affinity for the eccentric and spiritually unknown, the first place I looked at was my astrology chart and my human design chart. I found that not only does your Chiron placement reflect your specific core wound, but it also tells you exactly the area of life that your wound is occurring in or has occurred in, which makes it much easier for you to heal and overcome. Now, I want to pause for a second because when we hear the word wound, it's very easy to associate and have your mind go to this experience or this desire or this nudge or this inkling to fix yourself, you are not fucking broken, okay? Let's just call it there, okay? You're not broken. Healing is not about fixing yourself. Healing is about energetic alignment. It's about self-discovery, aka understanding yourself more deeply and better, and also energetically aligning with the truth of who you are, okay? So when we talk about the mother wound or understanding the core wound that the Chiron placement in your astrology and human design chart represents, it is very important that you understand that you are not broken and you are not fixing anything. You are simply gaining new understanding and a new level of self-awareness so that you understand what it is that you specifically need to feel safe, sane, and secure in this world, in any and all areas of your life, regardless of who's around, what's happening, and whatever the fuck it is you're trying to do, okay? So how does this help you heal the mother wound? How does knowing your Chiron placement help you actually go in and heal and move beyond the painful experience of having the mother wound? Well, for example, my particular Chiron is in Cancer, and it falls in my first house. When you understand the energetics of what's happening in your human design and your astrology chart, it makes it again much easier for you to navigate when you have a deeper understanding of yourself, your energy, and where it's trying to go and what it's trying to tell you needs to be in place for you to feel safe, sane, and secure. So going back to my particular chart for this example, my Chiron is in Cancer and falls in my first house. So Cancer energy in and of itself is all about the home, and the first house energetically is all about the self. And so I learned that the bullying, along with all the mental and emotional abuse that I had experienced early on in my life, were all childhood experiences that specifically made me insecure and feel unsafe in my own home. Now, what's unique, or what was mind-blowing for me, was that word home, right? Because we're talking about the physical location as well as within my own inner world, aka my own body. Remember me saying I couldn't stand the natural scent of my own body. No matter how much I bathed, I just felt like I couldn't get clean enough. It's again, the more that you understand yourself, the easier it is for you to navigate and enhance your quality of life and make sure that you have the different things that make you feel safe, sane, and secure. So this in turn led to the deep sense of self-hatred and feeling both unsafe and disconnected from this world that I told you about earlier. It was a coping mechanism in order for me to deal with the pain that I felt. So now when it comes to how you can use this for yourself, you can easily Google free natal chart and look up your own Chiron placements for yourself. You can look at the zodiac sign to identify the wound and the house placement to figure out what area of life it's occurred in specifically for you, and then do the shadow work necessary to resolve it. Now, if you don't have enough training and clarity on how to properly and safely do shadow work for yourself, and if you'd rather have that one-on-one support with me, walking you through the process of understanding your mother wound, your Chiron placement, and what it looks like for you to do the shadow work to heal and navigate through this, then my audio course, Thriving in the Shadows, is going to be your best bet. Thriving in the Shadows is a self-paced audio bundle for those who are done bleeding for connection, and it's for the ones who've survived energetic abandonment and you're just ready to rebuild your boundaries with fire, grace, and clarity. And it's going to teach you how to navigate and understand your specific Chiron placement and the core wound and mother wound associated with it, and also how to set yourself up for success, to set those boundaries and make sure that when you set those boundaries, you are free from toxic bonds and feel whole without the people who hurt you and without self-abandonment and without self-sacrifice, okay? It's going to walk you right back to your own power and give you that sense of peace and understanding necessary within your own self-discovery to make you feel whole again and recognize that you are and always will be and are inherently worthy. The link to that resource and for you to access that particular portal offering will be listed for you in the show notes below. All right, my love, it is a phenomenal pleasure as always, and I will catch you in the next episode. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to Journey to Self, your number one resource for emotional wellness and self-discovery, helping you learn how to adapt and overcome. Scroll down, press play, and meet me in the next episode. Bye, love.